to talk about our slogan. Our slogan we have here is one application, one credit pool. We're going to shop your loan over 30 different lenders. Now, how do we do that? So that's what we're going to discuss in today's video in details. So let's get over to it. And if you guys, as you come on board, if there's some questions that you have for me, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. And we're going to run through some scenarios in this as well. So without further ado, let's get over to it. So here we go. So here's what I post every day. I post these rates of where rates are and where they're going and so forth. And we go over every day. I go over, what's happening in the economy that's really changing these things. Here, let's get over to here real quick. Yahoo Finance. So let's go to Yahoo Finance. So these are the things that I work on a daily basis. I look at the information that's coming from all the financial institutions and how that is going to play a role in these things right through here. This is the bond market in regards to mortgage rates. Okay, so what you have to understand with this, though, is how does this affect your rates? And the confusing part is, what is the real rate for today? So let's get over to it. Here's the confusion that we're trying to resolve for you. So what is the real rate for today? So if you go to the Mortgage News Daily, and this is the information I use on a daily basis, it's going to give you the 30-year fixed rate, and that's the most common rate that people use. But if you go to over here, it's giving me the primary mortgage market survey is saying this is Freddie Mac. It's saying the rates are 6.85 on the 30-year fix and 5.99 on the 15-year term. And you go over here, and this 6.85. It's a little bit different, and then 5.99. And that's much different there. Let me add more confusion to this. Look over here, mortgage rate trends. What it is on NerdWallet today, rate 6.9. Again, it's higher than this over through here, 6.8. So the first thing is we want to do is figure out what this rate goes to, who qualifies for this rate that you're seeing on the board right now. So let's dive into this. There's always, the reasoning behind it. So to get that rate on Mortgage News Daily, you would have to have these criteria: 75% loan to value. That means you're going to put down 25%, and you have a 780 credit score. Okay, and this person is also buying a single family home, and it's going to be their primary home. So I'm going to take this data and go over and show you exactly what we do and how we do things. Now, don't spread this word around because this is top secret. No, just kidding you. I'm trying to explain to you guys how to make sense of mortgage rates. So again, we have Mortgage News Daily. They come in, and here's where their rates are each day on a 30-year fixed. You go to mortgage rate, whatever, and they're giving you 6.8. You go to NerdWallet, it gives you 6.9. You go to other websites. Now, here's an intriguing website that I was like, okay, how do I find multiple lenders? Well, here's the intriguing part. A lot of these systems, like lender homepage or things like that, not lender homepage, but lender, I forget what it's called. A lot of these systems, what you'll do is you'll put in your information in this website, and what these companies will do, they'll sell your data to all these companies. Okay, so that's how it works. So these companies pay a fee to be on here each week or each day, and they're coming out and they're just trying to give you the most or the lowest rate possible. And if you see up through here, you're thinking today's fixed rate 4.9. 5.3 APR. What's that go to? So if you even scroll down through here, I couldn't really find out where it goes to, but when you're working with these companies like this, you don't know who the lender's going to be, and you don't even know who your loan officer is going to be. Are they going to be worth a darn or not? So that's the concern a lot of people have. So let me give you the solution to this. My name is Dan Frio. I actually do this report twice a day, and I'm actually a mortgage loan officer. I'm a federally licensed mortgage loan officer. Okay, I work at a federal bank. Okay, the cool thing about our federal bank is we're set up with 33 other lenders. Okay, so here's what we could do for you, and I'm going to show you behind the scenes on how we do it. Okay, I work at a federal bank. Means I'm licensed throughout the whole country as well as Puerto Rico. That's awesome. But now it's like, Dan, do you have the good rates? Do you have the right programs for us? Well, we actually are set up with 33 other lenders. And let's get over to it. I'm going to show you how this works for you. So here's the system we use, okay? We go into here, and let's say, for example, we're going to look at this bar right through here. The Mortgage News Daily, they're telling us the rate right now is 6.89. And again, the criteria of this client is a 75% loan to value, with a, where'd it go? It's down at the bottom somewhere. It's a 780 credit score with a 75% loan to value. So let's go over into this and just see what these rates pick up. So we're looking at this, and we're going to say, okay, we'll just say it's a $450,000 purchase. And this person is getting a loan to value. They're putting down 25%, so that means they have a loan amount right through here, and I'll let you see that. We'll boost this up a little bit so you can see the numbers a little bit better. Okay, so I put in the criteria right through here. So here's other factors we need. So when you call in, the things I'm going to need from you are, what's your credit score? Do you really know what your credit score is? That's one of the first pieces of the puzzle I need you to understand. So when you put in this, you're going to notice it says FICO score. Okay, so do you really know your FICO score? If you do, fantastic. If you don't, one of the websites you can go to is creditscoresandmore.com, and I'll show you a link right through here. And this is a website actually I created years ago with my first video that went, how many people just don't understand. Up here in a second, it takes a little while. I got a whole bunch of screens up on the thing. So if you need to know what your FICO score is, you're going to scroll right down to here, and we call it your true FICO score, because these free systems, they'll give you credit scores, but the credit scores are called your Vantage credit score. So you don't want those. You want your FICO score. So you'll click that, and you'll go to a website. It's called actually My FICO, and by using this link, you'll get a discount, and I'll make maybe $1 for your efforts on doing this. So that's where you can find it. See, My FICO. You want to know what your FICO scores are. Okay, so that's that part of it. So let's go back in. We're going to say in this case, this person had let's say a 740 credit score. They got good credit. So we'll put that in there. We won't fill in anything else. These other pieces of information, they are handy, and I'm going to show you here in a second. I'll put in the monthly income and the zip code and so forth, but we're going to click over here, and we're going to say also we want an affordability loan. This means if you're a first-time home buyer, or you're in an area that might have some discounted rates if you're a home buyer, it'll pick it up in this system. And it's determined by your credit scores, where you live, your income, and a bunch of other factors. That's why when we're asking you questions, those are some of the questions that we're asking. But right now, I'm just going to keep it here, and I won't fill in any of these blanks. I'm going to put in a zip code in 60623. I think that's Chicago somewhere. Yep, that's Chicago, downtown Cook County. That's Chicago proper. Okay, so now here's what we do. We're going to click the button right over here, submit. There's a lot of other pieces of information I can put in here. I just want to show you how we do this. And it's going to pop up on the screen right through here. So I probably shouldn't show you this, but I'm going to show it to you. Here's the lenders that we use. And you're going to go down through here, and it's a laundry list, okay? And this is what we're doing on your behalf. You're not going to a different system and plugging in your information, then they sell it to another company or 5 or 10 other companies. All those companies are now calling you, trying to compete your business. Do you want that? You want multiple credit pools? You want to have to upload your data everywhere? Or you just want to do it in one place? Well, this is what we're doing for you. So instead of going into one of those systems where they sell your data and then you have to start working with all those other companies, ours is one application, one credit pool, and this is what we're going to do. So let's go through it. Right now, it's saying Provident Funding, and you're going to notice behind every one of these, it's going to say wholesale. And the reason being is you can't get these rates. The only way to get these rates is by going through me, okay? Because we do enough volume with these companies that this is our live pricing. When I talk pricing, I mean interest rates. So let's get over to it. Right now, it says Provident Funding is offering 6.75 rate. Well, if you go to here, this is saying, well, let's go back to Mortgage News Daily. I'm not saying Mortgage News Daily is wrong. The concern here is they're saying the rate's 6.89. You go over to this is saying 6.85. You go over to this is saying 6.9. You go over to this, and I don't even know what it's telling you. You can give a rate at 4.9. I don't think so. So that's what's going on. So now let's dig in a little bit further. Okay, so here's the benefits of this. So when you're out there searching and trying to figure out what lender to work with, hopefully you choose us, okay? Because you probably can't find a lower rate than we're going to get you. But what happens is, let's say you lock in. You found the best bank and the best rate in town, and you go in and you locked in. Then all of a sudden there's a delay in your closing. And there's a bigger delay. We have one right now. It's been going on for 3 months because the house was in probate, and it's still working through probate. So now this client can't get that rate. So now what do? Well, you go back to that. You're going to have to get a rate extension or something to resolve this matter. So what do? Well, you go back to the bank, and if you need an extension, many of them can get really expensive. So what we have is the ability is, let's say, for example, we use Provident Lending on this one. We started the process, and all of a sudden we just stubbed our toe, and now we can't close for maybe 30, 60, 90 days. Well, if I go back to Provident and says, okay, I need to extend this rate for 90 days, the rate's going to be, it's going to cost you $20,000. So what are we going to do? Well, we can't close in time to appease that, so we withdraw your loan. Okay, but now what we could do is we now can place your loan with any other of these lenders. And that's the benefit, not only on your initial lock, but even going forward. Let's say rates drop 1/4 or 0.5%. We're 3 weeks from closing. I can move your accounts. I can say, okay, Mr. Provident Funding, rates have plummeted since I locked in. Can you help me with this? If they come back and say yes, kudos. If they come back and say no, I'll say, Miss Provident Funding, please withdraw my file because I'm going to move this loan over to, and we'll start searching again to find out where that best rate is. So this is the system we're using. So now let's dig into a little bit more of these details. So now let's say, for example, you are in an area, a market area that might have some bonus programs because you have lower income than high income earners. So let's see if this works. So we go into here, and in that, I'm going to say in this case, and I know you guys are going to laugh at me, this is a $450,000 purchase, but I'm going to say this person makes $5,500 a month. Let's see, and they're a first-time home buyer. All right, let's see what this picks up. So we click submit, and here's what's going. Remember, we were at 675 at Provident. I don't know if this is going to come better, but these are all the things that we do in the background to help you out. So it's still 675. It might have got a little bit better. So now what we're in this, we're saying, okay, the rate's 675 for this client. Now I want to show you how much of a difference this makes or your credit score makes. That's why we really need to know your true credit score. Okay, so we go over to this, and let's say, for example, your credit score is a 630. Okay, remember the rate was 675 a minute ago, but now you have a 630 credit score. Let's see where the rates are now. So we hit the submit button, and here's what's going to pop up. So we monitor this, and we're like, okay, that rate is pretty bad. Well, let's wait for it to pop up. Okay, that rate isn't pretty bad. Provident still has the best in class right there, but let's get rid of Provident, for example. So now what we're looking at is 675, 675. So at Provident, you would get 675, and we're going to get you back a rebate check for $422, okay? But if you flipped over to this other lender, what you're going to get is it would cost you $979 to get the same rate. If you went to American Financial, it costs you $1,300. You can see how this increases dramatically. So if we go down through here, you're going to see down, like, let's see, Orion, the same rate would cost you $4,300. Okay, so that's how that works. But now let's go back and say, this is still hard to believe that is a 620. Let's go with a 620. Well, let's boost up. Here's where it's going to come into play. Let's boost up this LTV. So in most cases, when somebody's buying a home, it's a first mortgage. Let's say they're going to get into a house then they want 95% financing. Okay, so here's where it really plays a role. Okay, let's go in. You got a 630 credit score. Let's boost that back up to 740 to show you how this works. And we're going to hit the submit button. All right, so what's it going to show you right now? I can almost assure you this one's going to change. Okay, Provident Lending. What's the rate right now? 6.75. This is proving me wrong, folks. All right, let's go back. And it didn't pick up that. 740. So it's right. Okay, so now let's go back and put this in as a 630. My apologies. I forgot I changed that credit score back to the original. You're going to see how this rate is going to go way up. And now this is an area where we would start to focus in on it. Is there another program available for you? So look at this one, American Financial Resources. Now the rate on that one would be 6.875, and you'd have to pay, or you'd get a rebate check back for $599. Okay, so rates there are pretty darn good. All right, but let's say, for example, we want to modify this. Let's modify the search, and we're going to go back to this, and now let's see, on this same product, we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to just change this to an FHA loan. So the same criteria and everything else. Let's hit the submit button. Now this is where most cases, or a lot of cases, somebody will come back and say, okay, I want that, and here's the proof. Okay, so the best rate we had on top of everything on the conventional loan was 675. If we switch this to an FHA loan, you're going to get a rate at 6.25. And depending on what your credit score is, if it's really bad, you also have to look at this MI factor, okay? This plays a big role in your overall payment. All right, so let's explain this again. Let's go back, and I'm going to change this criteria real quick. Let's just let's cancel this out, and I'm just going to start fresh so we can just start over. So I want to go with a conventional loan right now. purchase price, we're going to go 350,000. We're going to change up the numbers a little bit, see if that makes a big difference. Then we're going to go in and say this person wants a 97% LTV. Well, to get that, you have to be a first-time home buyer. So I'm going to click that tab right through there. All right, so the rest of this is here. Now we're going to go and say this person has a 760 credit score. We're going to give a zip code of 60623. That's probably Illinois proper again. So everything is here good, 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 good. And we click it. Let's see where this takes us. And we'll just start fresh from this one. All right, it says Provident Lending again and Loan United. All right, so those are the two rates we're getting. And those now are 6.875 versus 6.75 a little bit ago. So now we're saying, okay, wonder if this credit score goes down to a 620. Now that's the minimum credit score allowed for a conventional loan. So we click it. I need to show you, and usually rates are much higher. There we go. Okay, there we go. So now this one cooperated. Loan United has the best rate. What's that rate is? 7.375, all the way up from 6.75 that we had. But I want you to see a factor over here, right through here. This is your MI. This is how much you would pay in what they call PMI because you didn't put down 20%. Okay, so that could add $500 to your monthly payment. Well, let's go over here and modify the search. So this one would be, I would say, well, let's look, just for purposes, let's look at what the FHA loan would look like for this borrower. Well, on an FHA loan, you need to put down a minimum payment of 3.5%, not 3% as conventional loans require. So let's change this to 3.5%, so that'll fit that criteria to make sure we don't get any errors. And I'm just going to keep everything else the same. So we hit the submit button, and here's what you're going to see. And now this is where you need to compare things. So now it's saying for this borrower, they can get a 6.5% rate with an FHA loan. And let's check this other out. This is a major difference in the rate. But now we go over to here. Look at the MI. This is saying their MI is going to be $5. Now, I don't know if that's accurate in the system because it seems like it should be more than that. But the MI factor is much lower when it comes to an FHA loan than any other loan. So we use this system for what's intended for, but we also make any corrections on the side. These should be correct on the MI and everything else, but we make sure those are accurate at the time. So that's basically how we do a lot of these things in the background. So if you guys got any questions as we move along through this, please ask them, and I'll jump over to them now. We have Joel. Joel just jumped in. If you guys are anybody here, if you can let me know where you're coming from, please give me a thumbs up if you can hear my voice okay and the audio's okay in the video. So let's get over to what we got so far. What are the rates for a 30-year fixed rate VA loan in Connecticut? Okay, great. Okay, let's get over to that. Let's go modify the search. Well, we're not going to modify it. Joel, we'll do a brand new search for you. Okay, so we're going through here. We need a VA loan. So we're going to click VA. We're going to go down through here. It's a purchase. If you could blip me, you're the only one responding right now. So if you can let me know what is your zip code. I only want your zip code because I don't want anything else. If you can provide that to me, I'll actually do this as we're going through. But it shouldn't really vary. So I'll just put in 60623 like we were here. But and anybody on here, if you want me to run some numbers for you, please let me know. Just add your details, and I'll try to get to everybody that I possibly can. So Joel, what do we got? We got a 745. You have a VA loan, purchase price. I don't know your purchase price. What is it? Let's just say something. It probably not going to really, the loan amount and the purchase price really shouldn't matter that much. Let's go over here. Now, my assumption is, Joel, that you're going to look at doing the 100% financing with the VA product. So that's hopefully the direction you're going. If you have disabilities, you might even be exempt from all the VA fees. The VA funding fees can get a little expensive on you, but I would highly suggest we digging into those just to make sure or what your savings are. So we go through here. We got the credit scores, everything else through here. Let's break it down. So let's submit it. And what are we getting? So right now we are getting in the market. Loan United 6.25 is 100% financing on that program. So that's where we are at right now, 6.25 based on the eligible products that you are eligible for based on this criteria right through here. So let's go across it. Joel, just make sure it's accurate. You can give me a thumbs up if you would. VA loan, first position, you're purchasing the house. The home value, we can vary that a little bit unless you want to give it to me, and the loan to value. So let's see. I think Joel responded. Let's see what you got, bud. Can you tell me what the rate would be? That's John. It's a different person. Joel, if you're still here, buddy, let me know what you got. But if Joel's not still with us, hopefully you can connect with this after the videos or after the live event. You can see that right through here. Okay, so now let's go over this. Some people might say, well, the upfront expense for VA is too high. Okay, we'll go over to that. So let's go over and modify this. We're going to say, okay, what kind of program would he qualify if it wasn't VA? So let's get over to this, and we're going to go from VA to conventional. That's all we're changing. That's all we're going to do at this time. Go over to here, click it, and let's see what this. That was 6 1/4. Let's see what it comes out at now. Ineligible products. Let's see what we did wrong. 350 of 30-day state. Oh, let's see if we still have modified the search. We got, oh, it switched to conventional. Let's go to VA. Let's go back. We'll continue with VA. I just want to see something on this for 1 second. Okay, we got that. Okay. 6 1/4. So let's go to modify the search. We're going to go to conventional. But on a conventional loan, if you're a first-time home buyer, you can only go to 97% loan to value. So that means you have to put down 3%. Okay, we're going to go there. I don't know if you have any of these other criteria, and we didn't strike them last time. So let's just see what this is. So we can go from 6 1/4 on the VA loan with no PMI. Remember the no PMI to, oh, let's see. Modify the search. I have to put first-time home buyer. My apologies there. And we're going to see what that is. Again, we're competing with 6 1/4 right now. So now it's 6.875 with a 198 on the PMI per month. So $200 a month and a rate at least 0.5% to 0.75% higher. So that's what you're seeing there. This is what we do in the back end. So then we can offer you, okay, now we know the best conventional rate out there. Now we know the best alternative rate out there. And then we can do basically a mortgage analysis for you to break each one down, give you the break-even points and so forth. So that's basically how that works. So I'm going to try to go through item by item. If I miss you, I am so sorry. Can you do VA? Yes, I can do a VA, but I need some criteria. So if you guys just throw me some numbers, folks, and I'd be more than happy to run the numbers for you. Can you do South Carolina 29732? So here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. Just post me what the purchase price is, what your down payment is, and your credit score, and then we'll post a couple different scenarios on here, and I also need your zip code. So populate those in, and as people post those, I'll jump in. So sports documentaries, please, I got your zip code, but give me purchase price and the loan amount you need, and if you have it, the zip code. So I'll wait for you guys to post those. Let's see if there's any other questions that we have in here. Can you tell me rate on a $450,000 loan, $450,000 home on a 30-year fixed? Okay, I can do that, but here's what I'm going to need from you. What data are we missing? And this is why we need all the information when we're talking with you guys on this. So we're going to go through here, and we're looking at can you tell me the rate? Okay, I guess it's just can be a conventional loan. We're going to say a $450,000 home. Your zip code is, I don't know how much money you're putting down. So that's what I mean. There's a lot of missing pieces of this puzzle I need. John, if you could post in that data, I'll come right back to it. Let's see if anybody else has some data. VA, perfect. Okay, Jackie, let's see what we got. So we're going to go VA right through here, and we're going to go down through here. Jackie, you have a 350. Fantastic, 350. And just so you know, on your, Jackie, I'm assuming you're going to go 100% financing. Yep, you put that in. You did great job. So thank you so much. You did it. I'll put down, you're probably a first-time home buyer buying at a 350, so I appreciate that. Your zip code, this usually doesn't matter, but it might in some situations, 714. All right, we got that. Your Polk or Lake, I'll just update to that. And then this is the rest of the criteria we got. Your credit score is 688. It's not going to matter as much with the government-sponsored loans like FHA, VA, and well, to keep it at that. Your credit scores are not as important as they are in conventional loans. So what we have on yours, we have 6.25 on that. Now we do have what we call off-sheet pricing. So there are some less lenders, and there's some of these lenders even in here. We have special pricing in certain products because we give them a lot of those products, so they're not built into this. So some of these we can even maybe get you a little bit of discounted rates. And I want you to also understand with some of these, or a lot of these, we try not to push over the lender fee to you guys as well to make the cost kind of come down as much as we possibly can. But this is just showing you how by going to our website, and I hate to keep pushing this, but by going to our website, you would deal with me during the whole process. You're not going out to one of these other systems. Where is it? Over through here. This one. And what they're doing is they're basically selling all your companies right here. So Rocket Mortgage is going to call you. Prosperity Home Mortgage is going to call you. The Federal Savings Bank is going to call you. Magnolia Bank is going to call. They're all going to have you or ask you to put in an application, upload all your documents, and just start basically fresh every time. Where ours is going to be one application, one credit pool, and this is how we're going to shop your rates. So let's get to more questions that you guys have. Let's get over to it. VA, let's go over to it. So hopefully, Jackie, I answered that question for you. If you guys need some assistance or you want to reach out to me for a consultation or something like that, that maybe you can kick the tires, just go to therateupdate.com. You can just click this tab right up through here. It says Ask Dan. You can do that, or you can even schedule an appointment with me or Alan right through here as well. So just use our website to reach out to me with any questions that you have, or you can even give us a call right through here, 844-775-5626. But let's get to some more of these questions out here because I want you guys to understand how this works, and I want to be able to give you guys who took the time to join me today, I want to be able to at least give you some insight on these. But remember, there's many times we can get you a little bit lower rates than these with off-sheet pricing. So we have a loan of $642,000, zip code is 780. Perfect. Okay, so what are we looking to do? Zip code appraisal was 780, 4-unit residential. Is it Miracle? Is it a purchase or a let's assume it's a purchase. So let's go back to a new search. So we're going to go with conventional financing. We need a loan amount of we got a purchase price of $780,000. So here's where that criteria comes in. And what I want to do, I want to show you, Miracle, is how there's a difference in the rate between a single family home, a 2-unit, 3-unit, and a 4-unit. And this is why a lot of times I'm like, your credit score. What is your credit score? I don't have your credit score, Miracle. If you can put that up for us, I'd greatly appreciate it. Miracle, there it is. Thanks, here. 780 to 800. Are you looking to refinance? That's my trying to. Oh, okay, got it. So let's go over to those numbers. 780 appraised for 780. Got 780, and you have a loan amount at 642. So we got 642, 1, 2, 3, and what's that give us? 82 LTV. So maybe it can appraise a little bit more. So this is a perfect example. Let's go into this, and I'll show you what the difference between 80 LTV and 82% LTV is on your rate. So let's get over to here. I don't know what your credit score is. Did you get rid of that? Get that for us. Owner occupied, it's a refinance. Okay, it's a refinance. We're going to go into that purchase. We're going to go a rate and term. Now, here's a piece of information I want you guys to realize as well. When you're getting a loan, you're going to be asked multiple questions. They're going to be, are you purchasing the house? Are you just doing a rate and term or a cash out? So here's the difference. Like in this case, if a Miracle only wants to she owes 642 as the balance, and she just wants to refinance that balance into a new loan, that is called a rate and term refinance. Now, if Miracle wanted that and then say, hey, can I get $50,000 to do some debt consolidation or fix up the house? That would be a cash out refinance, and the rates are higher. Okay, so Miracle, I don't see in here, but if you could post for 780, there you go, girl. Appreciate it. 780, and zip code 07017, and you're in New Jersey. We're getting a lot of business from your panhandle up there right now. It's pretty cool. And if anybody's here from New York, we have a special program to help you really reduce your closing costs. It's called SEMA. If you didn't hear about it or don't know about it, please check out one of my videos. Just Google SEMA on my YouTube channel, and you're going to see a video there it saved one of our borrowers $20,000 on closing costs. So check that video out. You'll get a kick out of that. Okay, so What we're going to do, don't get too excited, Miracle, yet. I'm going to use this. I'm going to put it in right now as a single-family home, a one-unit property. I want you to see, I don't want you to throw up when you see the rate differential. It might not be that much because I really don't know. But let's see how much the difference is. So we go over to here, and here's what we're looking at. So this lender right through here has a rate at 6.875, and that is on a single-family home. Okay, so that's the kind of the rate you'd be looking at, right around there if it was a single family. Now let's move that to a 4-unit. So we're going to move this, same thing, but we're going to take that to a 4-unit. Okay, let's see the differentials in the rate now. There you go. So that's why there's a big difference when it comes to the units. So a lot of times we need to know when we're asking you all these questions, there's a reason for it, because I don't want to quote you a wrong quote. Okay, so now let's get over to this. And now, Miracle, let's move this. We did put in a 4-unit. We got everything else through here. Now let's take this to an 80 LTV. Let's see the differentials there. Okay, so let's click that. Hit the populate. What was the rate? 7.125, I think, was the rate with the 80 LTV. You got 7.12, basically the same rate. Okay, so, but you won't have MI. Let's see how much your MI would have been on the previous version. I should have looked at that. I don't know if you saw it on there for me or not, but let's go back to 82 LTV and just see what that PMI would be. And I don't know what you're paying now, but you might want to schedule a consultation with us just to see if this might help you out. So the PMI, $282. Okay, right through here. $282 on the MI that you're getting on mortgage insurance. Okay, so Miracle, I hope that helps you out. But let's get to some other ones because I don't want people just sitting here waiting for us. So I'm going to try to fly through as many of these as I can, folks. But if you want me to do this with you, just go to the rate update and schedule a consultation. I'd love to do this with you no matter what. Let's see. We got one here. If you guys can fill in the blank. Sports documentary. Did you put in sports? There it is. Let's see if we can get to yours. Purchase $285, down $120, first-time homebuyer. Sweet. So let's go to a new search. And we're going to say first purchase, you're a first-time home buyer. Purchase price is $285. Your down payment, you're putting $120,000 down. God bless you. I don't even know how to put that in here, 120. So we need $165,000 loan, right? If you put 120 down, yep. So it's 57 LTV. What do we got as your credit score? Sports, did you put it up top? I think you put it up top. Let me see. Sports. We have that. 29. I can fill in the zip code from this. 29732. Got that. You're a first-time home buyer. Sports, if you could tell me, I hate to ask this online, but what your income is. Nobody knows you unless they know your code, but it will fill in a blank here because you might be able to get some discounted pricing on some things, but let's just run it as because I don't want you to have to post more of your financial data here. Let me see if you did provide your credit score. It doesn't look like you did. Let's see. I'm trying my best to... 718, I think, here, 718 credit score. Okay, so let's plug in the 718. So this is kind of what we do on consultations. We'll work you through, give you all the options that you have with different programs, and then just leave it in your lap. And we'll coach you through to say, okay, this is what I would choose and the whys behind it, but you're the boss. I mean, we'll do exactly what you want us to do and the whys behind it. So that's what we got right through there. Let's go into this. We got that in there, the zip code and everything else. Let's click and see what we got for you, buddy. Sports documentary. Now this is right now. This is exactly this timing. And the mortgage rates are up a little bit. This is what the bond market did today. It came down a little bit. So as these come down, rates go up. You're going to see over through here, we got rates up a little bit today. So if you got quotes, another day or a week ago or so forth, they need to update these quotes for you. Okay, so let's get over to we got Loan United. It's top of the heat with a 6.625 rate. And you would actually get a rebate check back of $782. So this is how we do it, and we do it. So again, we have some lenders that aren't in here, and there's some of these that will offer us discounts even on top of the rates they're providing. So that's what we try to help educate you guys on there. So let's continue going through. We got Miracle, we got you put away. If I missed you, I apologize. I'm trying to do the best I can. John Rafferty. Let's see if John posted something in the top. John Rafferty. What's John have? Can you tell me the rate? 450,000. Okay, let's clear this. I'm going to go to a new search. And first-time homebuyers. John, I need your credit scores, buddy. Let's see if you posted down there. Putting 20% down. John, putting 20% down. John, what is your credit score, my man? If you can give that to me. What we got, 450,000 is that. Zip code is 18702. We got it. And where are we going? I'm getting a little confused over here. Putting down 20%. Okay, so you're putting down, you're getting 80%. You need an 80% loan to value. And John, I wish I could sort these. That would be pretty darn awesome. John, where are you? See if you posted anything else in here. I don't know your credit score. 20% down. John, tell me. I need John's credit score. Well, John, I'm going to put in that you have a 720 credit score, just to give you an idea of kind of where you're at. And I'm assuming with putting down that much money, well, not tons of money. Let's just go over and just do this right now. If you can post in your credit score, I'd love to be able to help you with this. Let's just go over and through. Loan United, 7.25, and that would be your rate, and you get a $1,200 rebate check. Now, folks, again, you can't call these places because you can't get these rates. They're all wholesale. Yes, is Loan United a bank you can deal with? I don't know, but to get these rates, you'd have to go through me. Okay, so let's try to do a couple more. I'm getting a little bamboozled here. I get a lot of credit scores, but not a lot of follow-up. 718 is, did you say 718, and did I plug in 718? Let's go back, modify search, 718, 720. So I was pretty darn close. We're going to go to a 718. Now this might change because one bucket I will refer it to is 720 is a credit score. So let's see, this was 7.25, and you're getting $1,200 back in rebate money. 7.25, 12. Yep, see it, 7.25. Now you're only getting $800 back as a rebate. So this is all these numbers. You know, what we help you too is that's why I try to explain to you guys how to get your FICO score. And this system also is going to help you increase your credit scores. So for example, in that scenario, just 2 points cost them, you know, $300, $400, $500 in lender credits. So every little bit we can move up your credit scores are going to help. Okay, so that's what we're seeing through there. So hopefully I got that. So let me go back up to the top and see if I can start plugging in some more. Here's what we got. We got a new one up here. MHMH or USDA 320 score 708. Let me see if I can find MH. If the previous question, I need an initial question to be able to kind of upload the rest of the day or okay. So I'll go to a USDA here in a second, but let's get to one more. We got credit 610. Okay, so in your case, Ishmael, I'm going to show you something, and this is going to be a huge help for you. We would go with an FHA loan. And the reason being, with a 610 credit score, you need a 620 credit score to qualify for a conventional loan. But even with a 620 credit score, if we can get to 630, 40, 50, 60, it's probably going to be better rate-wise and PMI-wise to go FHA with a credit score down there. So let me just show you. I'm going to show you the first thing here. We're going to go through here, and I'm going to put in, you're buying a $663,000 home, and you're putting down payment $250. So we got $413 is the loan amount. So we got $413 is the loan amount. Great LTV. Credit score 610. Zip code. Ishmael, thank you for putting on all the data. I greatly appreciate it. It's much simpler to go that way. Okay, so now we have all the data in, and let's hit submit. Now I'm submitting it as a conventional loan for a purpose. The purpose is, it shouldn't even come up. It shouldn't. With a 610 credit score, it shouldn't really populate. But if you could get approved, because conventional loans, let's go to ineligible products, is you need a 620 credit score. So you can see it kind of along through a lot of these areas through here. But let's go back to it. So you'd be at 7.75. Okay, let's switch this. Let's switch it over and modify it to an FHA loan. Okay, now FHA loans aren't for people with crap credit, aren't people for, deadbeats. It's basically for people a lot of times when you just have a low credit score. You might just, have some student loans or a car payment you just got out, or you might be running some credit cards. I had a client one time, actually it was a friend of mine, and I put his credit scores and it was like a 6 something. He never missed a payment, but the problem was every one of his credit cards, he had a max limit of like $250. So every time he'd use it, he'd be like, I use it, to buy my gas every month and this and that, and then I pay it off. But the problem is it's a $250 credit limit, and he had like 4 or 5 credit cards like that. And they were all maxed out. So his credit scores just tanked. So what I told him to do, I'm like, I'll call your creditors, just see if they'll increase your credit lines of 500 or 1,000. That'll take your utilization ratio and basically plummet it and jack up your credit scores. He did it. 30 days later, he went from a FHA to a conventional in a great situation. So that's just some of the things that we can help you with as well. So let's go through this. We got a 610, so forth. Now let's choose this FHA. Click Submit. Let's see where that comes in. You're going to be quite surprised on this one, hopefully on the good end. Now you can get 6.5% rate with a 681 rebate back, and your PMI is 171. Again, the other one was 6.75. And I don't even know what the PMI was. Let's see what that, if we go back to conventional and see what the PMI is, because it shouldn't even be finding a home for this loan right now. But let's just for kicks, let's see. Oh, it wouldn't have PMI because you're putting down a lot of money. So, unfortunately, you're putting down a lot of money, which would avoid PMI anyways. But the problem is the rate's going to be so high if you can get it done. I don't really realize how this populated, because mostly all conventional loans, it's just the standard guidelines is you need a 620 credit score minimally to qualify. So let's see what else we have down through here. Here's it looks like a newbie. Home equity, 75,000 paid cash. And the interest rate is adjustable and paid cash. Home equity, 75. Oh, so you have a home equity loan at 75,000, and you owe you paid cash for it for 400,000. I'd like to see what your rate is, because adjustable rate right now. Here, they're starting to come in vogue, folks. But we're not to get freaked out. They're not like the bad loans, the subprime loans that were adjustable rates. These are legitimate loans. Okay, but the problem right now is the spread just wasn't there or isn't there, might be coming back in now. So here, what I mean by that is a lot of times, when we see rates like this, so this is a fixed rate and this is an adjustable rate. What these numbers mean through here, this is your rate. The first number here means your rate is locked for that length of duration. So that means when you lock in at this rate, that rate's locked for 7 years. Okay, then after that, every 6 months, it's gonna adjust based on the SOFR. That's an index that you can look up. If this is the spread on adjustable rates, and here's the and behind it. Rates are probably peaked out right now. We got president, screaming at the Fed to lower rates. It's a mess out there right now. But rates are coming down, okay, or most likely the chances are much higher of coming down than going up. Might not be a bad idea to get into an adjustable rate in this environment. I'm just saying, for some out there, maybe with a big balance, or you really don't, your expectations aren't to stay there forever. Most people, they buy a house and it's like, I'm going to be here forever, and then in 3, 4, 5 years they either refinance or move or something, because the average home loan is out there for 7 years is the average. So once this spread comes in, but in your case, I don't know what that adjustable rate is, but you only owe $75,000, I would just stay right with it. Try to prepay it as much as you can. Just deposit your paychecks right into that account and then use that line of credit to pay your bills. There's multiple options that you can do for that. Check out the YouTube channel by the name of the Kwak Brothers, Kwak. They actually teach classes like this, and they're friends of mine. One, Sam, just lives right down the street from me, so he's a friend of mine as well. Let's get to anybody else that we have on here. So, Dan, I'm looking 700 middle score. Q Turner. Where are you, Q Turner? I need the rest of that puzzle. Q Turner. It doesn't look like you posted anything in here yet. So let's go down to the bottom and see if you posted anything else that might give me some information. I think, there we go. I think you finally did. Didn't mean that in a rude way. Let's get back to it. So let's go and refresh this task, and we're going to go back. 145,000, pay 700, mid-score, 10% down, 4.6, purchasing 5. Woo! Okay, we got a first-time home buyer with a 550 purchase. You're looking at a 10% down, so we're going 90% loan to value. Fantastic. We have a zip code is 46037. That is Indiana. You're right next door to us. What is your credit score, Q Turner? Q Turner, I need you. Let's see. Did you post up there? Q Turner, 700 mid score. You did post up there, so thank you so much. And I think you said first time homebuyer. Okay, so we're going to click that in here. Let's see what this comes out to be. 700 credit score, submit. And we're going to do this, and we're also going to do an FHA, and just so you can analyze the numbers on your own, I guess is the best way to put it. So right now, the best rate out there right now is 7.25. Okay, good rate there. But let's change this. Let's change this and modify it to an FHA loan. So we got 7.25. Well, here, let's go back real quick. 7.25 with 227 in MI. So 7.25 with 227. Change it to FHA. 7.25 at 227. 6.25 at 205. Okay, so but the caveat with FHA though, you do have they charge you. FHA charges you a fee up front of 1.75% of the loan amount. So before we would just kind of jump in on this, I'd do the numbers and say, okay, in 2 or 3 years you would break even. So anytime above that, you're ahead of the game. These numbers are so skewed that your break even might be much sooner than a year, 2, 3 years out. So that's that part of that. And then what do we got left? Oh, there is still more questions out here. Q Turner. Let's try to get to the next one. We got is 75,000. So Sablan, let's see if you're in here at the top. There we go. Oh, you do have 70. Okay, 785 credit score, 75,000. Honestly, if I was you, I'd just stay in it unless the rate is really high. Like prime right now is 8, I want to say, or 7.5, something like that. So if you have for like prime plus 1 or prime plus 2, it's like 9, 10, 11%. You might want to do something, but the cost for you're going to have a tough time finding anybody, and I mean this with respect, anybody to do a $75,000 loan, because most banks, there's no money to be made. I'll just be blunt with you on a $75,000 loan. Our costs are a couple $1,000s a loan, so we don't want to pass on all those costs to you. So there's really no way of us to do that loan without losing money. So that's why a lot of times you might fall into a lender that says, our minimum loan's 100 or 150,000. Those aren't guidelines. It's just it's policies, because you just can't make any money. All right, let's go to, I haven't seen this one before. Outdoors with the McCalls. I'm going to check out your channel after this. You probably have a channel with that name. So let's go back in. Oh, I don't want to save that scenario. Cancel. I want to do a new search. So what do we got? Outdoors, loan amount 340, down payment 3.5, credit score 720, zip. Okay, loan amount 340, down payment 3.5. I'm just going to work it differently. I'm going to put 340 as the purchase price, because I can't do the math that quick. 96.5 is the down payment. I don't know if you're doing that because you're trying to go FHA. That might be because if you're a first-time home buyer, you can go with a 3% down conventionally, or if you go to 3.5% down, that's what it would require for an FHA loan. So we're going to run it both scenarios. So let's go back. This is 720 credit score, 720, and we have a zip code on this one is 36067. Hey, you might be in my neck though. No, you are not. I think we have all the criteria there. Purchase. Got it. You give me your credit score and hit it. And I know this isn't exact, but the loan amount differential isn't gonna really matter at all. Ineligible. Why is it ineligible? Modify search. 95 LTV. Let's go back through here. First position, we're looking to do a purchase, 340,000, 96.5%. I don't know why this isn't picking up. Submit. $340,000. It's saying state is contiguous. State is continuous. Max loan. I've never seen that before. That is a head scratcher. Let's see if conventional pricing will come up. This is Outdoors with McCall. I might have to do a deep search on this for you. Let's see. Let's see if we get the same error on this. I just might have to do a reset. Yeah. Okay, so here's what you'd be looking at for an FHA loan. 6.125 is the rate. So not a bad rate. I still can't figure out why it can't go with a conventional loan. But over here, your MI would be 150. I'm still looking to see. Let's go through here. I want to do it one more time. I'm going to go to conventional, standard. Everything is good there. Good, 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 good. Submit. If we get it one more time, I'm going to just refresh this whole entire website and run the numbers. I might be just freaking this thing out. Yeah, let's refresh the whole entire website. Oh, that's right. I just had, my son was in the background. I needed to put in first-time home buyer. Duh. So my apologies. Thanks, Pat. Let's see what we got. That was a good call on him. I would have gone drive myself crazy. So in this 7% rate with a 238 PMI. So that's why you need to compare these things. And again, this is pricing right now. We might have some off-sheet pricing, get you 699 and things like that. But this is just to show you guys how we do this. So I'm going to kind of end it at that. I can't get to everybody right now, but here, I'll give you a thing. Use this system right here. I'd love to do this with you personally. And if you just want to do a Zoom call or text or email me your criteria, and I can do a video like this and send it right back to you, just reach out to us. I'd love to answer anything you have. Go up here and ask Dan. You can give us a call at 844-775-5626. This will most likely be Alan answering the phone. He does the exact same things I do. Or you can request an appointment with us right through here. So let's go to one last one. Alan, here, let's see. This is my business partner, Alan. Mark, the first-time home buyer button. Thanks, Alan. Okay, so let's go back to this. We're going to answer one last one. Hopefully this is going to fit in exactly what you guys are looking for. So purchase or refinance, price value down. I don't know. Those are actually the questions. Yeah, fantastic, Nancy. You were posting what they need from what I need from them to answer these questions. So thank you so much. And outdoors, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you personally. You can just call 844-7 and just ask for me, or just sit right here. If you guys want me, just hit this Ask Dan button, and all I need you to do is just plug in right through here and just let me know what you're looking for. If you want, you want me to run some numbers for you on this or whatever else, just put it in there, hit the submit button. I'll send a video out to you, and it's going to be basically look like this. It's going to say, hey there, outdoors, here's your numbers, here's the numbers. I'm going to run you a conventional and an FHA program, and then I'm giving you, if you want, we can do some further analysis with the break-even point and so forth. So, but this is what we do. Okay, this is what we do. You want to go to this places that here that's like, okay, the rate's 4953. We're going to sell all your data to all these companies. You're going to get calls from everybody. No. And the company I was thinking was Lending Tree. Let's check out this. Lending Tree. And a lot of people use that system. But here's what it does. Basically, all you're doing here is they're going to get your data and they're going to sell it. They're selling your data to all kinds of different lenders. Okay? And that's what they do. So now you're just back at the mercy of, you're going to get phone call after phone call. You're going to get this. You're going to have to upload your data. And you don't know if they're doing this behind the scenes for you. So why not just visit us at therateupdate.com, and we can do basically all this on your behalf. So that's my report for today. Hopefully you learned something a little bit today on when I talk about one application, one credit pool. We're going to shop your loan over 30 different lenders, and that's how we do it. So thanks for watching, folks. I greatly appreciate you guys being here with me daily. If you do me one big favor, if you just hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of June. You guys can help me get there, I promise you. So thanks for watching. I'll be back at the closing bell to let you know how things go today. But so far, the MBSs are down 19 ticks. Not looking good for rates today. They were pretty